quick about your Macintosh. Back to that real quick. I had a question.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, how do you feel about measuring amps versus measuring speakers?
Yeah, I don't think I could say until I get to the point where I've measured more amps. Um, so that's the honest truth is I just don't know. But I'll be honest, man. Like after getting those quotes from Audio Precision, I'm like, I think I'm just going to hold off. Like for the people who don't know, I can even pull it up to show the proof. But I was measuring electronics with a loaner unit from Audio Precision, and then when I sent it back last week, I said, "Can you go ahead and give me a quote on some of these options?" So they quoted me two different options, and the cheapest one was $33,000 and some change. And ever since then, I was like, so I don't know. I may just stick to measuring speakers for a little while longer until I can build up some
cash flow,
legitimate revenue. Yeah, because
I'll be honest.
I was okay dropping 20, but after that, I was like, I don't think so.
I'll be honest. I'm more interested in the speaker reviews personally.
Yeah.
Right. When it comes to the amplifier stuff, maybe it's just because I don't understand it as well.
Right.
Like I kind of want to know just basic stuff, like Big D Wiz, like Wilson. Like all I want to know is like how much does it have the power that it says it has?
Yeah.
And like, is it noisy? Like
right.
I don't need too much information. Just because I guess what I'm thinking is the difference between amplifiers. Sure, you can measure them, but the difference between speakers is enormous.
So different. Yeah, I've thought that for a while too. I just kind of wanted to do something different. I was really just itching for a change. But I don't know, man. But I've already spent about $4,000 on stuff to measure amplifiers with. But I was talking to somebody today about it, and I said I'll probably just write that off as a loss. And her response was basically like, "Well, it's not a loss, like you can still do something with it at a later point." So. Yeah.
How about this? How about this? How would you feel about just making one review, right? Just to be different. I would be curious. Just your personal opinion of that Macintosh. Like you've measured it. Boom.
Right.
You have all the data. Yeah. All I care about is what do you think about it?
It's awesome.
And, there's the price, and that's all I want to know. Like I just want to know the human Erin's opinion. That's it. That would be kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what people would think about that.
But I'm so data driven that I feel like if I don't have, but I've also talked to Derek about the Wilson audio stuff, and I've asked him about like how he does his measure. Honestly, I think what Derek does is plenty sufficient, and I think the only thing that I would add to it is figuring out some way to measure noise level, or something simple. If I always had like the same high sensitivity speaker, I could just say, hey, at a foot away, I could or I couldn't hear noise when I turned the thing on. Just something like that. It would be great to do objective, but at $33,000 or $39,000, I don't know, folks.
I know. I know.
And I told you guys I was thinking about doing a GoFundMe, but I still have concerns about doing that. Just because it's something that I would make money off of eventually. It would take 5 years.
I don't know, man.
I just don't know, man.
So like I know everybody has their own opinions about what they think is right and wrong, obviously, right? We just talked about people who don't think that they need to follow the rules, right? That's okay.
The literal law.
The law. They don't feel like, okay, that's fine. I like to, just because I don't want to have to worry about it. But I would say, as far as the GoFundMe, I think if people want to donate to that, you're being straight up. If you're just like, hey, if I hit this number, then I'll get it. If not, then that's cool. I'll just move on, and I still have the Clipple, and that's what it is. Just leave it up to people to decide if they want to support or not. I think that's a fair way to do it.
Yeah, that's a reasonable way to go about it. I like that idea. I'm gonna sit on it for a little while longer and see if I can maybe find a used unit or something. But I was surprised that they weren't willing to budge off of that price. Like, no, not even like a 2% discount, nothing. It was just like, I can't do that. Right.
I was just joking. I'm like, they probably sell like 5 a year. You're like, they sell. Yeah. How many of those do they possibly sell? I don't know. Who do they sell them to?
I don't know. Apparently they do defense contracting.
Oh, okay.
Apparently. Right. I haven't looked into that myself, but from what I'm told.
Okay.
So, but I just, They are the sole source. That's the thing, man. So nobody else can touch what they do. It's kind of like if I want to measure
We're talking about audio precision for the people who don't know.
Audio precision. Yes. If I want to measure speakers anechoically, I either build an anechoic chamber or I go to Klippel. Klippel is basically the sole source of doing it in a reasonable way, right? And so audio precision is kind of the same thing. They're the sole source really for what they sell. There are other alternatives to kind of make do with sound cards and stuff like that, but I just don't want to go that route. Anyway,
I guess what I would say is I saw on Facebook where you're like, all right, well, I have the full report on Patreon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm still gonna I'm gonna still release just a summarized version.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's like, oh, like a few people, oh, we're gonna have to pay now, like they were almost like upset about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of wanted you to feel bad or something, like, oh, like you don't have to do anything. Like you don't owe anybody anything.
I know.
You could just stop right now. Just release none. You could do that too. You know what I mean? Release 0 and then they get 0. So I don't get it. I guess my point is there's always going to be somebody who complains, right? Somebody who doesn't like what you're doing. There's always going to be those people. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what you want to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
for sure.
Right? I mean, if you're doing something really bad, I think, our group, I think we're gonna tell you, hey, bro, I don't know about that. I don't think that's cool. That's not good.
Y'all definitely would. Yeah, y'all definitely would.
But when it comes to this side, I think you're, as long as you keep it on the up and up, I think your audience will let you know if they're willing to support or not. That's it. End of the day, how many people, Chana, how many people hate on what we're doing, right? Like a few, actually small percentage, but complaining about the price of our calibration toolkit, right?
Oh yeah.
But that's a small handful. You know how many people actually bought it? Like those are the people that matter, like the people who bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, for sure.
These people who are never going to buy it, who cares? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Make sure to check out our audio-only version of the podcast at anchor.fm/Daily HiFi, or just go to your favorite podcasting service and search for Daily HiFi.